We're live.
All right, thank you. All right, call the meeting to order. Monday, July the 24th, 2023. Roll call. Stephen Salisbury, Chairman Pro Tem, Mike White, Jared Wilbur, and Steve Shea. For the applicants here tonight, we'll have 4. We normally have a full board of 5 plus 1 alternate. 4 constitutes a quorum, so we can start our meeting. The warning being, if it comes to a 2-2 vote, it's a tie, which constitutes a denial of your application. So at this point, if you want to ask for a continuance until we can get a full board, you have that right to ask for a continuance. And there's no harm, no foul in that. And I'll say for item number 3, I'm gonna have to recuse myself. It's gonna be a board of 3, which under our guidelines is legal, because we start with 4, we can go down to less than that, as long as we start with 4. So we have item number 1 on the agenda, adoption of the minutes from June 15, 2022. We sure that's the last time we met?
Isn't that amazing?
It's been a while.
Yeah. I try not to work you too hard.
I guess that's great. Can I get a motion to move to adopt the minutes as written?
Good motion?
Motion is second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. Election of officers, chairperson being Toothaker and secretary being myself. Jeff not being here, we can still appoint him chairman.
I knew you were going for it.
His ego wouldn't allow him to do otherwise, so I make a motion, we nominate Jeff Toothaker for chair.
Second.
Second. All in favor? I need a motion for secretary. Moved, second? Is there a second?
What was the motion?
The motion being to reappoint me?
Yes. sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a second. All in favor? 3-0.
And who seconded that? I'm so sorry.
Jared.
Jared.
Item number 3, request of Stephanie and Gordon Sweat for a variance regarding a driveway at 130 Bayside Road. You wish to proceed tonight?
Yes.
Okay, by all means.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna be
Oh.
recusing myself on this matter, so somebody's gonna have to step in as pro tem chairman tonight. So the 3 of you have to decide that one. I'll come back for the rest of the meeting.
Get my.
Steve?
Paper, rock, scissors.
I can.
Temporary chair. Super temp.
So, item number, where are we now?
Number 3.
Item number 3. Public hearing and consideration of request of Gordon and Stephanie Sweat for a variance to Chapter 56 of the Unified Development Ordinance, Article 9, Street Design and Construction Standards, Section 910.3, Access Management, Alignment, Offset Spacing to allow 2 driveways on the property. Property is located at 130 Bayside Road on tax map 15, lot 20, in the neighborhood zone. I assume you're Stephanie Sweat.
I am Stephanie Sweat.
You have the floor.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Steph Sweat, and my husband and I are owners of K&K Sweat Properties at 130 Bayside Road in Ellsworth. I'm here tonight to request a variance to the Chapter 56 Unified Development Ordinance, Article 9, Section 910, the access management. We currently have residential renters at 130 Bayside and a commercial building for Sweet Smiles Dental Services at 132 Bayside. Article 9, Section 910 states that one-way access, including commercial and residential driveways, per development is preferred. It does not state anywhere that it is mandatory. And it also states that there are potential reasons a second driveway would be allowed. Number 1, separation of standard vehicles from heavy trucks and/or emergency vehicles. I read the memo to the board from the Public Works Director, Lisa Suckulich, and would like to state that I have been very compliant with the city rules and have obtained all permits for this building. To be clear, I have a partial occupancy permit from the code enforcement and will be getting the full occupancy once this matter is resolved.
Stephanie, can I step in just
Sure.
a second? She had applied for an administrative appeal, which was the correct way to go. I can't authorize a variance, or you can't authorize a variance on a use. So this may need to be tabled and heard in the future because I misguided her.
Shame on you.
That was me, yes. It
Well,
was all me.
I applied for the administrative and then
did.
you told me to.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I
Okay.
misguided you.
So I'm still willing to read my, defend
It's
myself, I
up
guess,
to-
and ask to go forward and then we can decide what we
Well,
want to do?
the
Or what do you think?
Item on the agenda was for a variance.
Yes.
Right, this is what I'm asking for,
Right.
is the variance for the 2 driveways. And I don't know if it's administrative or not.
So a variance cannot be granted for a use, and the driveway is a use. So when I guided you incorrectly, I can have a new meeting, I can reschedule another meeting, a special meeting, to be heard by the board, unless you want to hear what she has to say, and then,
Well, I think this has been advertised,
I'd kind of like to go forward with it if it's okay with the board.
this has been advertised as seeking a
Yes.
variance, is that correct?
that is correct.
I would be hesitant to go ahead
So listening to it,
closing into it if it was advertised as a variance. I don't know how you two fellows feel.
I mean, unfortunately, we can't vote on it, right?
Right.
right.
I think that, I think if something's advertised as a variance, and
So I guess I'm just confused on what is the difference? I'm asking for a variance to have the 2 roads, and my defense is that I need emergency vehicles to be able to access my dental office at 132 Bayside. I saw the assessor, he said that 132 made sense, and so I guess I'm just confused on what is the difference between an administrative versus the single, I don't know what the difference is with the variance.
So administrative, you would have had to show where I erred, or we erred as the city, and our decision to tell you you couldn't have a driveway. Again, the use, you can't give a variance for a use. So the variance is not, it can't be heard as a variance. It has to be heard as an administrative appeal, and you have to show where we erred in our decision-making process through the ordinance.
Okay, so on Lisa's, that doesn't, on her memo, she's stating the same thing as the variance, because she gave the 3 reasons.
She went with what I went with, because when I told you to go with, so that's, probably the same memo will have to stay, because Lisa's gone now. Yeah, she can't prepare an administrative memo
Well,
or an administrative hearing.
the criteria for granting administrative appeals is different than those for
Yes.
variance. And so this application talks about a variance.
Yes.
And so, actually, I know it's a pain in the neck for you, Stephanie, but you'd be better off to refile for an administrative appeal and make your arguments
Yes,
for an administrative appeal because they're different arguments.
yes.
So
I'm
even.
sorry, I apologize.
No, that's okay. I guess I'm confused, because like, even on this separation, like, I'm asking for the variance now, I mean, not going against what they had said, but just that I would like to keep the second driveway
Well,
for
we can't
emergency
grant a
vehicles.
variance for use.
Right.
Variances cannot, or can only be granted for setbacks and things like that.
I don't know if the driveway is actually a use, but just it lists in 1301 the specific reasons you can ask for a variance outside of the shoreline zone, which are area, yard space, height, or setback requirements. And this driveway isn't.
The driveway
That's not part of that.
doesn't qualify for that, so. You know, it's an embarrassment for the city, and I'm sure it's a pain for you, but
And I'll set up I'll schedule a special
if we were to
meeting.
grant this, if, it could be, somebody could enter an appeal and say we've done this improperly, then you'd be in a real mess.
Right, I was just following the guidelines.
Yeah, I understand.
You know, and
You-
like, honestly, I was going, like, that was in my statement, is that
Mm-hmm.
I had every intention of closing it, but when I met with the assessor for 911, he said that I wouldn't be able to keep 132 for dental purposes and emergencies. I
Mm-hmm.
want to be able to keep that, because he said I'd have to change it to a lane.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, maybe it was just, you know, things just changed, and so on the variance, it said that, you know, it could be potential for each circumstance. So I guess I just was unclear which way.
I understand why
to-
you're unclear. But
Okay.
unfortunately, we wouldn't be doing you any favors by hearing it tonight.
Okay, so more or less, you're gonna make a special meeting
Yes.
I
with
think Lori
everybody?
will-
I'll
will
schedule
bend
a
over.
special meeting. Hopefully Jeff Toothaker will be back by that time.
And
And,
you have to put it in the paper and everything too,
oh yeah, I have to advertise for
so
it.
it's gonna take at least a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Take a couple weeks, and
yeah.
that's,
I have to find when this
Okay,
room
no,
is available.
that's fine, I guess just a misunderstanding.
Yes.
it is.
Yeah, it
So
is.
just curious, if when I first did the application and I did it as the administrative, if you let it go through, it would have been okay?
Right.
Okay,
I was just trying to assist you in, you know, we don't have these very often.
yeah.
And the fact that I didn't know how you were gonna be able to say how we erred in our decision. And that's why I was thinking if we went for the variance, it might be easier.
Okay, all right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Item number 4, a request of Scott Commercial Properties for a 10-foot variance on at 159 Sergeant Drive, tax map 100, lot 48. Is there somebody here representing Scott Commercial Properties?
Yes, there is.
Would you like to say something to us? Thank you.
I'd like to ask for a continuance until we have all members present.
Not a problem.
All right.
We'll put you on the same meeting with, if we can coordinate with the applicant.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
2 birds with 1 stone.
Yep.
Motion to, also I'll motion we can table this until the next meeting.
So moved.
All those in favor? You had a question, Jeff?
I have something to say about this, and I won't be here the end of August, the beginning of September.
Okay. Just let Lori know what dates aren't good for you, and we'll make sure we accommodate you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can we get a motion on the driveway to table that one too? The variance one?
I think we should just withdraw it because it's an
I think,
appropriate
yeah.
request, inappropriate request.
Got it.
So just administratively, we'll withdraw number 3 from the agenda.
Got it.
If that's agreeable with the board?
I
Yep.
think we've done what we need.
Yeah, I agree. So by consensus, we're gonna withdraw number 3 from the application, from the agenda officially. All right, thank you, sir.
All right,
We'll
thank you.
get your new date and
Appreciate
get this taken care of for you. Item number 5, request of Sarah Cook and Bruce Cormier for variance at 32 Central Street, tax map 13672. Is there somebody here representing this application? By all means. Would you like to go forward tonight?
What does it mean go forward?
Would you like to have the hearing with the
Yes.
four of us?
Yes, please.
Okay, not a problem. Just take a couple sentences and explain your application, your
Okay.
dilemma to us, I
Right,
guess.
I'm Sarah Cook, and with my husband Bruce Cormier, we're requesting a variance to place a 12 by 12-foot deck behind our garage for a hot tub. The deck would be within a few feet of the property line. And that is the issue, because the property between 32 and 36 Central Street in Ellsworth, the two houses have been there for 150 years, and nobody knows where the line is. We do have a pin in the middle of the driveway, but we really don't. Every map you look at is a little different. So the deck would be a few feet, within a few feet of the property line, wherever it is. And we chose this spot because it requires the least amount of snow shoveling in the wintertime. You go through the garage and then onto the deck.
Beautiful.
Anywhere else on the property would involve a significant amount of snow shoveling, me. Our neighbors, Lucy and Vivek Phillips, they're aware of our plan, and they've sent a letter in that says it's okay with them for us to do that.
Okay?
And they've been very encouraging, and they're going to get to use it. We feel that at our age, a hot tub would be therapeutic and enjoyable. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Is that enough?
Yeah, that's perfect. For the record, we have a letter from the neighbor in support of this variance request. I know for a fact all these lots were developed way before the city had any zoning. So we need to keep that in consideration as well. Anybody got any comments on the board? I'm prepared to make a motion in respect to the request of Sarah Cook and Bruce Cormier for variance from the property line setback to construct a deck and a hot tub. What's the location? 32 Central Street, tax map 136, lot 72. The board, having considered the variance criteria that the land cannot yield a reasonable return unless a variance is granted, that the need for variance is due to unique circumstances of the property, not to general conditions of the neighborhood, that granting the variance will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood, and that the hardship is not the result of action taken by the applicant or the prior owner. Having rigorously considered these four criteria, I make a motion that the variance be granted. Second by Jared. Any discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? 3-1. 3-1 does constitute approval. Nothing else on the agenda for tonight. Make a motion for adjournment. Is there a second? All those in favor? Thank you.